All right, what is going on, guys? UFC 316, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2 is gone and passed, and this is going to be the fights to make after the event. Starting off with the main event winner, Merab Dvalishvili. You know who I'm going to put here. Corey Sandhagen. There's an argument for Piotr Jan. He's probably, if you're going to go off win streak, he is the most deserving right now as far as a highly ranked opponent, but he's already lost to Merab very dominantly. Was not a close fight at all. Sandhagen, okay, he just lost to Umar, and Umar just lost to Merab. I would still pick Merab to win this fight, but there's really nobody else. I've been seeing some people online say Mario Bautista. I think if he gets one more top 5 win, okay, maybe then give him the title shot next, depending on what's going on with Jan. I would say if Jan gets one more win in the meantime, he would be next in line for the winner of this fight. I think it's a great fight. Stylistically, like I just said, I'm picking Merab to win this fight. But I think Corey is good on the feet, and he's better in the grappling than Sean O'Malley is. Way better, significantly better. He had a more competitive fight with Umar. Well, I guess Sean O'Malley didn't fight Umar. But a competitive fight with Umar, I think, what is it, 2? I think he won 2 rounds or 1 round. I don't remember. I think it was 2 rounds. But better in the grappling department. He showed that in his last fight. I think he'd have a better chance than O'Malley to beat Merab, but still probably pick Merab in that one. Moving on, Sean O'Malley, loser of the main event. I've been seeing a lot of people online want Sean and Umar to fight. I do think that would be a good fight, but I don't think it's a competitive fight at all. I think Umar, again, unless Sean clips him, catches him, but I think Umar's probably too smart for that. I want to see a fun, stylistic matchup for Sean O'Malley next. Some people might hate who I'm going to match him up with. That's okay. I think Rob Font. And why I think Rob Font? 2 reasons. One, he's on a 2-fight win streak. He deserves to fight. Both of those people he was defending his ranking. He's beat both of them. I think he deserves a shot up the rankings. If I'm trying to remember correctly, I think the last shot up the rankings he got was Jose Aldo. I think he lost. Or no, was it Vera? It might have been Vera. Because I think it was Aldo, then Vera. He won most of that Vera fight, but then he would get absolutely rocked and lose the round. But I think this is a fun matchup where, say what you want, he's getting older. I think he still has somewhat of a chance to beat Sean O'Malley. I think, in theory, Rob Font definitely has the cardio advantage over Sean O'Malley. This could be a perfect fight night main event towards the end of the year. He has the cardio advantage over Sean O'Malley. I think he can throw the volume at O'Malley, and if he can just he's really good at pressuring. If he can just pressure O'Malley and not get clipped and just keep up the volume, I think he could probably win a decision over O'Malley. I think it's a very winnable matchup for Rob Font, and same with Sean O'Malley. I think he could. Obviously, Rob Font is susceptible to getting rocked. Sean O'Malley is a sniper. I think he could get him. I think it's a very compelling matchup in that bantamweight division. Moving on to the other bantamweight division, the women's bantamweight division. We already know who she's fighting next. Kayla Harrison. Amanda Nunes. We already know that. They did the face-off in the cage afterwards. Oh well, I hate when fighters retire and then come back. Retire and then come back. I don't think she did it twice, but she did it once. Okay, let's say she comes back and beats Kayla Harrison and then retires again. You've essentially ruined Kayla Harrison for the division. Because it's like, oh, well, Amanda Nunes beat everybody. So why even... she's probably just doing it for money, which I don't blame her. She's going to make a lot of money. But yeah. I'm excited for the fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. Hopefully it's like a co-main event on a pay-per-view. I do not want it to headline a pay-per-view. Don't want it to headline. Great fight night main event. That'd be a great fight night main event. Crowded arena. Moving on, Juliana Pena. I saw her tweet online that she wants the winner of Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. Hell no. What is that? She beats Amanda Nunes, gets her the rematch, loses, okay? So then she loses that rematch, gets an immediate, wasn't a rematch, but an immediate title shot. Loses in her first defense again. And is calling for another immediate title shot. Win some fights. The women's bantamweight division is probably the least skilled women's division in the UFC. She needs to fight. And who I think she needs to fight is Norma Dumont. She's probably one of the only up-and-coming deserving contenders at women's bantamweight. There's a couple more I'm sure I'm not thinking off the top of my head. But one of the only ones that's on a several fight win streak that hasn't been able to fight someone in that like top 3 yet. Give her Juliana Pena. Pena, you know, even though she got beat up, Pena didn't take that much damage. She didn't take that much damage. Book it for like October. Or put it on the Noche card. There you go. Which is, I think it's September. Moving on, Joe Pyfer. He is not ready. He is not ready for the rankings. He's not ready to fight anybody in the rankings. He needs to improve a lot. Although he did win the Kelvin Gastelum fight, it was way more competitive than it should have been. And he should have went for it in that first round when he dropped him like, what, 2 or 3 times? I think he needs to work some more. And I think the opponent that I have picked for him will help him in all facets of his game. And if he's going to be anything in the middleweight division, definitely needs to get past this test. I hope he's still in the UFC. Pretty sure he is. That is Brad Tavares. I know recently I saw that he was removed from the UFC roster. I think I saw him put online that he is waiting for a fight. He's just not, his contract's done. He's not canned from the UFC. They're still going to sign him back. They're just waiting for an opponent. And I think Joe Pyfer would be a good opponent for Brad Tavares. I think it's a very solid test for Joe Pyfer. Brad Tavares is very well-rounded, primarily a striker though, but very well-rounded. I think it's going to be a solid, I know he's kind of older, 37, 38 years old, but I think this would be a good matchup to, again, test Joe Pyfer, see where he's at. And then if he can get past Brad Tavares, then maybe we can give him somebody in the like 15 to 13 range of the middleweight rankings. Although I still have my doubts if he could beat him. Like Abus Magomedov, I think he's ranked 14 or 15. I'm picking Abus Magomedov to beat Joe Pyfer unless he gets chinned. Moving on, Mario Bautista got the win over Patchy Mix. Patchy Mix looked like shit. I agree with him. Although I don't like him, that's fine. He's winning fights. He deserves a top 5 opponent. And that top 5 opponent I have, make it it's going to be a great fight night main event. Umar Nurmagomedov. I think if Umar wants to get in there, Mario Bautista in the bantamweight division is probably the biggest up-and-comer right now that you have that's on a hot win streak. There's really not anybody else. I mean, you got Marcus McGee coming up. I can't think of anybody else in the men's bantamweight division that's like an up-and-coming contender that has a lot of attention on him. Even though it's bad attention, people don't like him, it's still attention. None Ayman Zahabi is another up-and-coming contender, even though he's old. But yeah, I think the Umar Nurmagomedov fight is a great fight. I think, you know, Bautista's shown that he's decent in the grappling department. Is he on Umar's level? I'm not sure. We can find out. I think in the striking department, he's definitely on par with Umar. And he seems, in his 3-round fights, to have very good cardio. So will he have 5-round cardio? I don't know. I think we should find out versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Although Umar might have wanted to come back in October in Abu Dhabi, and I don't know if that's a pay-per-view or fight night, so it might not be a 5-round fight, but I would love to see this in a 5-round fight. I think it's a winnable matchup for both guys. Moving on, Kevin Holland, you know who I'm picking, who we called out, Colby Covington. Great matchup for Kevin Holland. I think it's a very winnable matchup. A few years ago, Colby was a little younger. I think he'd have been able to implement the wrestling and the takedowns and stall out Kevin Holland. I don't think he'd be able to finish him. Just hug him for 3 rounds or 5 rounds, whatever it would be. And if this fight does happen, I have a suspicion that it will probably be 5 rounds. Now, Kevin Holland doesn't want to fight 5-round fights, and I understand why. That's a whole 2 other rounds you have to fight. But if Colby's going to win that fight, he's going to win it with his cardio, his pressure, and his pace, which he didn't show in his last fight. And he would definitely need that 4th and 5th round to keep the pressure and the pace on Kevin Holland to be able to win the fight by decision, of course, because he's not going to finish him. And for Kevin Holland, 3-round fight definitely favors him. He can go out there below his wad in the first 2 rounds and let Colby hug him for the 3rd round and win via decision or finish him. I think he can knock Colby out. But I think it's a really good matchup. Again, Colby's on a losing streak. Got it. The more you lose, the more you still got to defend your spot until you can win. And Colby's kind of like that old guard in the welterweight division. You got Colby, Burns, Usman. You got to defend a spot again. Unfortunately, against Kevin Holland for him. Moving up the card. Breaking news also as well. So Joshua Van called out Brandon Moreno. That was the fight I was originally going to make, but it looks like he stepped in on short notice to fight Brandon Royval at the end of this month. I'm recording this on the 9th. It is June 28th, I believe, is what I read. Manel Kopp is pulling out of the fight with an injury. Said he can't walk. I can't. I just kind of read it real quick. Stepping up on short notice to fight Brandon Royval. This is a banger matchup. I cannot wait for this fight. It might be too much too soon for Joshua Van. I really believe that. And I hope, because he already had the derailment with Charles Johnson. I hope if he loses to Brandon Royval, which right now I'm leaning Royval to win this fight. He is getting up there in age a little bit. I think he's 34, 35 years old. I could be wrong. He might be 33. But he's getting up there in age a little bit for fighting. He could, this could be the time where he gets chinned because Van does have good power. But I just don't want, let's say Royval goes out there and finishes him. I don't want that to be the end of Joshua Van. He's so fun and exciting to watch, and he's young. He's 23 years old. He's younger than I am. I'm fucking old. But this is a very fun matchup. Very exciting fight. Cannot wait for it. They better put it on the pay-per-view, because right now they have Jonathan Deans, or however the hell you say his name, versus one of the Tapa brothers. I don't remember which one. That is on a pay-per-view. That's a whole separate video I'm going to make if they keep that on the pay-per-view. Moving up the card. Or down the card. Asman Murzakanov gets the first round KO, like I expected. And the fight I came up for him, he wants a high-ranked opponent. I think he deserves it. He's going to get it. Is Alexander Rakic. Rakic is on a losing streak. Again, the more you lose, you still got to defend your position in the rankings until you get a win. I think this is a very, very long-rangey opponent for Murzakanov, but I think it's a very winnable matchup. I really do. I'd probably pick him to win this fight. Maybe by finish as well. He's got good power, decent in the grappling. I think he could probably out-grapple Rakic if he wanted to. My only worry is, Rakic has got pretty decent kicks. Could he keep him at range? And he's got long-ass arms, too. Could he keep him at range where Murzakanov couldn't rush in and get him? Nonetheless, I think it's a very exciting matchup in the men's light heavyweight division, and it kind of pushes Murzakanov. We need more contenders for Magomed Ankalaev, because there's really no clear contenders for Magomed Ankalaev next. I'm assuming they're going to do the Pereira rematch next. If not, maybe Pereira will get one win in the meantime and then fight Ankalaev next. If not, Yuri could be next in line. He's on a one-fight win streak. So we need more contenders at light heavyweight, no matter who the champion is, whether it's Pereira or Magomed Ankalaev, because there's just nobody at the top that's like, me. There's nobody. So we got a Murzakanov coming up at light heavyweight. Moving on, Waldo Cortez Acosta gets it done via decision over Sergey Spivak, where I thought the decision wasn't the best. Nonetheless, the fight I came up with him, veteran, solid test for Waldo Cortez Acosta, and that is Marcin Tybura. Now this, if the rankings update how I think they're going to, this will technically be a down in the rankings for Waldo Cortez Acosta, but I think Tybura has earned to fight somebody up in the rankings a little bit, even though he just lost to Spivak. I think Tybura's grappling is probably better than Spivak's. I don't know if it's good enough to be able to take Cortez Acosta down. This is a good matchup at heavyweight. This would be a solid test for Waldo Cortez Acosta against a veteran of the sport. He's been, don't get me wrong, he's been finished. Obviously, he just got finished by Spivak not that long ago via armbar. But he's very durable. Like, you guys clip him and drop him, and he comes back and finds a win. He finds a way to win. So I think this would be a very good matchup in the heavyweight division. And heavyweight's kind of log jammed right now. So I don't really want to jump Waldo Cortez Acosta up the rankings, do I? He's one of the up and coming heavyweight contenders right now. I mean, we had Mick Parkin, but Tybura just beat him not that long ago. Moving on. Last but probably least on this card. Maybe not. Do line up in it, probably least. Wang Kong gets the win. She will be a ranked flyweight. And I'm looking at the women's flyweight division. I'm not really seeing much. I'm coming up with someone higher up on the rankings. But Wang Kong's fights are exciting. I want to see her in exciting fights. And let's see her up against Macy Barber. Macy Barber just pulled out. I understand she had a seizure, allegedly. That's what they're saying has happened. Let's see. I think, Wang Kong should be around 13 or 12 in the rankings, and Macy Barber 5 or 6, something like that. So it's a good jump up the rankings. I might pick Wang Kong to win that fight. Macy Barber, biggest hole in her game's probably on the feet. I think this is a great matchup in the women's flyweight division, and again, not trying to hold it against her, but I kind of am. She pulled out of the main event right before it was about to happen. I think probably makes sense. Blanchfield's not going to fight her. She'd probably fight Wang Kong if they offered her. But let her fight someone back in the rankings to earn herself a fight forward in the rankings if she were to win. So those are the fights to make after UFC 316. If you have any different fights, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.